So my name's Big Bad. Um, Everyone knows me as Tubbs. I'm a soca artist born here in the UK. Became an artist around 2012. Um, Basically, I just woke up one day and said, "This is a load of I can do better." So I decided that I was going to become a soca artist. Only thing is, I probably written one song in my lifetime up to then. I had no idea where I was going to start to do it. I just decided I was going to do it, and I did. So later on that year, the long story short is later on that year I entered the Soca Monarch, UK Soca Monarch competition. And I don't think I actually placed, but that wasn't the target at the time. It was more just to be a part of it and, announce myself, so to speak. There are so many artists over the years. The obvious ones would be the Mighty Sparrow, the Lord Kitchener, Crazy, Super Blue. The list kind of goes on. Obviously, you've got the more modern day guys like Marshall, Bungie, Kess, and the likes of Sorry. Let me not leave out Alison Hines, Destra, the ladies, big up the ladies. But yeah, many. Soca music, as I know and understand it, was started by Ras Shorty I back in, was it the 60s or 70s? 70s? Around that time, a long time ago. And the idea of it was to, as I understand it, to bring together the Indian influences and African influences into one sort of style that everybody could sort of get behind. Originally it was done for Trinidad, but obviously it's spread. As you know, Trinidad is made up of Indian and African mainly, and then you've got sort of everybody else. So the idea was to bring people together. That was it. And the name is the soul of Calypso, as I understand it from Ras Shorty I's words. But yeah, the difference now, music is a funny thing because the genre is so big. You've got so many different types of soca and so many different sounds. You can't really pinpoint what soca actually sounds like. I was having this discussion with a friend of mine where now you've got a lot of the rhythms come out. So you get one rhythm come out and you get several artists jump on the rhythm, which is cool. Mainly I think that came from the dancehall side of things, but that's what's happened. However, now I find, depending on where the person comes from, determines the genre with some of these rhythms. So some of these rhythms, if you get an African artist, you could say it's Afrobeats. If you get a Bashman artist, you could say it's Bashman. If you get a soca artist, you could say, and it's the same beat. I think because music sort of blends together, it's hard to really say what it actually sounds like in itself. Soca is something that obviously has been part of my life from birth. My mother was born in Trinidad of Grenadian parentage. Father's Jamaican. Soca's always been there, as has dancehall and reggae. But I took to soca more than any other genre. Growing up as a kid, I was listening to soca at a time when it wasn't fashionable to listen to soca like it is now. I was the one kid in my school, while everybody's listening to dancehall and hip hop and whatever else, I'm the one kid in my school with my Walkman, because it was Walkman back then. That's showing my age, innit? With my Walkman, I had my little soca tape and I'd have that. People, what's that? Soca? Ah. Why are you listening to soca? Why not listen to soca? It's what I love. So that being me from a very early age and wanting to do it, not having the means to do it, because it wasn't as easy back then to make music as it is now. You could do it in a bedroom. It's easy. When I decided to just do it, I had a lot of friends who are producers, artists, songwriters, and not just in the soca genre, but it helps that I know a lot. So when I decided to do it I think it was a while after I've been, or telling myself that I was too old to do it. You get into that zone where you're like, well, I think I was about 30 at the time, funny enough. And having told myself I'm too old to do it, I saw a guy. I was watching a marathon. Don't ask me why. Anyway, I was watching a marathon. This guy crosses the line. He's 92 years old. And they speak to this guy. They say, "Oh, that's fantastic that you're doing the marathon. How old are you?" He goes, "I'm 92. Wow, that's amazing. So I guess you've been doing this for years. When did you start?" He said, "I started when I was 82. I was like, "What?" This guy started running marathons at 82 years old and had been doing it for 10 years. And there's me around 30 years old saying I'm too old to do something. Nah. See, from then, I said, nah, I'm going to do whatever it is I want to do. And no one's going to tell me I'm too old to do nothing. So that was pretty much the spark then. I think that was like 2011 or something like that. That marathon, yeah. Carnival is a massive part of my career as a soca artist, because that's when people's ears are open to hearing soca music. Generally speaking, I mean, I listen to soca pretty much every day. That's me, but the masses ain't like that. So, in terms of getting people's attention, like releasing something in sort of November times ain't really doing much for me here as an artist. I mean, aside from the fact that people here aren't really open to it at that time, you've got a lot of the Trini songs coming out around that time as well. Because, you know, Trinidad Carnival, February, March, every year. So a lot of the songs start to get released from sort of maybe as early as September, and they sort of build from then. So people's ears are more attuned to that side of the ocean than this. So the main thing for me as a UK artist is to focus on UK Notting Hill Carnival, should I say, mainly. No disrespect to the smaller carnivals, but Notting Hill Carnival is the one in it. So yeah, it's massive. There are things that I'm very proud of. My biggest achievements would be things like they had a UK chart show and I placed #1 on that. So I'm one of 2 artists that are actually #1 artists in the UK soca, but people don't want to talk about that. They're kind of hating a little bit, but still, yeah, there's that. My first main performance, my debut performance after the Soca Monarch was opening up for Bungie. And that was massive for me. Obviously, Bungie is one of my heroes. So that was a great experience and something I'm very proud of to this day. So Soca Child, big UK producer. He's somebody that helps me out massively in the earlies. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be doing this, because like I say at the beginning, I had no idea how I was gonna do it. I was introduced to him by my friend Victor, or VCams, big up VCams. I was introduced to him and he said, "Yo, bro, talk to Soca Child, talk to Tubbs." Boom, that was it pretty much. And away we went. Helped me with writing, sort of delivery of music, of the songs and stuff like that. And obviously his main thing is production. So he's the guy I got most of the beats from in the earlies. And well, I still kind of work with him, just haven't worked with him for a while. But yeah, I would say he's a mentor. most of the time, I will have producers produce songs for me. Um, I want to get around to making my own beats. I'm not very good at the moment, but it's something that I'm currently working on. So for the moment, mainly I will get beats from people I work closely with, like Schwing, V Miller. Soca Johnny has done a few for me. Shaker, Soca Child, of course. Um, there's loads of producers that I still want to work with as well, but those are the guys that I've worked with so far. Um, as for songwriting is when I decided to become a soca artist, I said, well, I don't want to just sing other people's songs. I want to put my own sort of spin on things, so I'm gonna write my own songs. Um, a lot easier said than done, but still done. It's something that I am working on perfecting. My peers seem to like a lot of the songs that I've written for myself, but at the same time, Soca Child has written me songs, Soca Johnny has written me songs, and I'm open to either, to be quite honest. I collaborate quite a bit with Joe Money, who's like my home girl. She does a lot of my backing, and I do some of hers, but so we work together quite a bit. Soca Johnny, I've done a song with him. Soca Child and Teradan that I've worked with also. But again, that's another thing that I want to do more of, working with people, because I'm more a team player than sort of a lone ranger, so to speak. So Soca Monarch is a competition for soca artists. The biggest and the best of them is the International Soca Monarch, which is in Trinidad, which is where it all began. So, generally what you'll do is, so for an artist, I would enter my song into the competition, judges will judge it, and if I'm in the International Soca Monarch, the judges will see if I get through to the preliminaries, and then there'll be a performance of the song, and then I'll get through to the semi-finals, and then performance again, and then the finals. They may have changed the format a bit, so I'm not sure about the preliminary stage, if it's still a performance thing or if it's people entering their tracks, but that's generally it. So once you get to the finals, that's where you'll get the most exposure. That's where you'll probably pull out all the stops in terms of presentation, vibes, energy. It's quite good. You can look it up on YouTube. There's loads of videos of past competitions. To date, my biggest audience has been at the first gig that I did, which was opening up for Bungie, which, like I said, was a massive honor for me. And I think I've pretty much spent that day in like a daze, sort of confused as to how I got there. Was I good enough? And, things like that. But a bit of nerves and things is always good for a performance. I was told I did all right, and I know that I've improved since then, but that was still the biggest crowd. I've done a few other places as well, where the crowds have been almost as big. I also did support for Skinny Fabulous, and I also did a performance for, I think it was a Trini Lime. That was quite big. That was in South. That was probably my worst performance, actually. But yeah, good times. What I would say to any young soca artist out there, or old, because you're never too old to start this too. What I would say is just be true to yourself and do what moves you. Don't worry about the masses. Don't worry about what people like and stuff like that. Worry about what you feel good doing. Put out the message you want to put out, and once you're true to yourself, then you should be fine. My favourite part of Carnival is actually Panorama. So Once Panorama's finished, that's when I kind of start to get the whole Tabanka for, I want to do it again. Carnival is great. It's a great sort of celebration, which is what it's supposed to be, and that's always a good vibes. But my favorite part is Panorama. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram or Twitter, although I don't tweet that much. But it's at Big Bad Tubs TV. I've got lots of funny videos. I'll put little previews of my stuff. I make memes. I'm a meme guy. So some of the memes I use my music on there and whatever. But yeah, I put up funny things. So yeah.